Mama, shall you be to turn your little boys into men? As a youth man, make them accountable for their actions. Show them love, but I
pray, try to not destroy other people's children. Mama, I pray for you, and Jah pity them.
Mama,
I pray for you, and Jah pity them. Oh wow! We're on live. Hey, shalom to everybody that's watching already. Who knew? Camera was on. I was just looking at my Bible. I was listening to some music, and here we are. Shalom worlds. Yahweh Hashem Mashiach Shalbrakatham. Shalom Yasharala. Shalom Yasharala. Shalom Yasharala. All right. So this is our third part of our video this morning. Let me know if the sound is okay. If the sound is okay, put a 7 in the room. If it's too loud, put a 3 in the room. All right, and we'll fix the audio as we are in our $1 billion studio here. Welcome to our $1 billion Puerto Rico studio. So shalom to everybody that's watching. All right, Kwame Asharala. We're going to continue with our portion of what we're looking at. We're going to get into Proverbs chapter 31. All right. Earlier we did 1 Peter. Oh, let me give a shout out to Judah Mack. All right. Salute to the brother Judah Mack. I just had a very blessed conversation with him. He's right here in the city gates of Puerto Rico. And all praise, all praise. I'm happy to see that. Hey, shalom to everybody that's watching. Shalom, shalom, aliyah shabai, all praise. We got a 7 up in the room. All praise. Shalom, Darian Newton. Thank you for that 7. I appreciate that. If you like these vibrations, this is the group Bamboo Station. All right. This song is called Families of Jah. All right. Jah. Families of Jah. Families of Jah. So Families of Jah, this is one of my favorite Bamboo Station songs. As y'all know, I'm real big on Mashpaka. Mashpaka Pa'ain is the name of our ministry. So I'm real big on family time. So salute to everybody that's watching. And again, if you like these vibrations, the name of the group is called Bamboo Station. Okay, Bamboo Station. You know, all they do is sing songs about us being Yasharala, man. Very beautiful. If you missed the last 2 videos, Baba Kushal, please go back and watch the last 2 videos. The first video was on Psalms chapter 25. Today's the 25th day. I was like, the 25th. Today's the 25th. Today's the 25th day of the week. Day of the month. No, today's the 25th day of this month. And what we have is that there was a sister, and the sister asked, about, the Most High returning her to her first love. So what we seen this morning was when we read Psalms chapter 25. What we seen was that the Most High, he will redeem us. He can redeem us. He will redeem us. So we have to go back to the Most High. And we also looked at some scriptures on repentance and on converting and coming back to Yahweh. Very good examples was given this morning. We also, after that, we did a second video, and that video again is on the family structure. So the second video was really based off of 1 Peter chapter 3. All right, 1 Peter chapter 3, to where we learn about how Yahweh tells us, and it was geared more towards the daughters. So if you have any sisters, any daughters that's in the truth, they need to hear this video. They need to hear about, preparing for marriage, or they need to hear about, correct behavior that characteristics that the Most High wants us to have, but not just for women, for men also. All right. The scriptures do say in the last days, the Most High will make a man more precious than gold. He would make us men more precious than gold. And this time frame is coming up. All right. We're already in the process of it. Okay. So not just for the men only, for the women only, but for the men. All right. We look at this ministry. Okay, so for now, what we're going to get started on is the book of Proverbs, chapter 31. And after this video, I have to go out and hit the streets of Puerto Rico because we have to get ready for Passover in Puerto Rico, Pesach. And we have the brother Judah Mack, man. The brother Judah Mack, he's going to be visiting and participating, hopefully keeping the Pesach with us. All right. I don't know if he'll be able to, but, you know, just the brother's presence alone and the community that the brothers come with will be a blessing. All right. So salute to the brother Judah Mack. You know, if you're watching this or if you get wind of this, man, we just had a great conversation. And, you know, a very important thing of what Judah Mack said was that there's an element that Yasha Allah is missing, and that's the element of love. And I agree with Judah Mack. I agree with Judah Mack on a lot of situations that he was bringing forward. Some things I just didn't agree on, but that's where brotherly love comes in, because everything doesn't have to be, you know, the same all the time. Sometimes it's okay to disagree. You know, it's okay to disagree, but you got to disagree and know how to still be in love. First, you got to love Yahweh, then you love your neighbor as yourself. Okay, so again, big ups, much salute to the brother Judah Mack. All right. So if you see him on Facebook, YouTube, make sure you spend some time with him. All right. Amongst his community and those that know him, you know, he's a beloved brother. All right. So let's get it started real quick. I'm going to start the screen share. Okay. So for those who have ears, let them hear. And I'm going to start our screen share. There we go. All right. So before we get into it, there was a subject matter that I was reading, and the subject matter that I was reading from the last video, we're going to pick up from there from the last video. There was a sister that asked a question about the daughters of Israel, and the daughters of Israel not doing, well, she made a statement more so. The daughters of Israel not doing what they're supposed to do. She said that they could be replaced. And in the video, I was like, well, no, I don't know about that. I don't think be replaced. And it turns out that the Akwaf, you know, she was accurate. She was right. And I was like, well, let me see, what scripture can I go to? Because I was saying add on to. The sister was saying you can be replaced. And I was like, nah, because in my head, I'm thinking like, nah, man, you know, you can't replace somebody. Why would you replace somebody? I mean, if a person moves out of the way, then, you know, you have somebody to add on and, you know, you keep doing what you're supposed to do. And, you know, blippity blappity bloop, you know, bippity boppity bop. And I went to, this is Flavius Josephus, what we're looking at now on the screen. For those of you who don't know, Flavius Josephus was a master historian of the tribe of Levi. And this is called the Antiquities of the Jews, book number 11. I'm going to copy and paste this. All right, I'm going to copy and paste this, and then I'm going to share it so you all can see it for yourself. Okay, so if you would like to, there's the link to it. You can copy and paste it for yourself, and you can come back and get this information another time. So it's Flavius Josephus, Antiquities of the Jews, concerning the interval of 253 years and 5 months, from the first of Cyrus to the death of Alexander the Greek, or Alexander the Great. All right, so we're going to go down to chapter 6 or 5. All right, chapter 6 or 5. Oh, wow. I got to find my place, man. I think it's chapter 6. Governor, properly made king, 7 days. King was desirous to show who exceeded of the women beauty. Okay, so this is Antiquities of the Jews. Thank you, Father. Flavius Josephus, book chapter 11, book 6, book 11, chapter 6. And you can find the heading because it says concerning Esther and Mordecai and Haman. For those of you who don't know, Haman was an Edomite. Haman, I call him Hyman, just to kind of make fun of his name. You know, like Hyman, like he like that, bro. You Hyman. You know, for those of you who get the joke, then you know what I'm saying, bro, you a Hyman. So his name was Haman. But concerning Esther, the Benjamite, Mordecai, Haman, and how in the reign of Artaxerxes, the whole nations of the Israelites was in danger of perishing. Why? Because there was this Gentile European man named Haman who wanted us all dead. Okay. So what happened was during the time frame of Haman, what happened was King Artaxerxes, he called his wife to come to him. Well, she wouldn't come, so she disrespected him. But she disrespected him not just in front of his servants, in front of his eunuchs. His eunuchs were, brolic Israelite men who were known for staunch combat fighting. Unfortunately, eunuchs, when we were taken to captivity by the Arabs, by the East Indians are the Persians today. A lot of these nations castrated us. A lot of them cut off our penises so that we couldn't have sex with their women. Our one dedication would be dedication to them. Oh man, what a sad thing to think about too. They cut off our penises, man. If that ain't a reason enough to be mad about, the captivity we've been in. I mean, what else, man? I mean, what else comes? If you see the tools of a eunuch, a eunuch had this tube that had to be inserted inside of the place where his penis used to be, that he would have to pee out of. See? So like a pin, like you would literally have to take a curved pin and place it inside your seminal vesicle where the seminal vesicle was still attached. And then you would have to urinate naturally, and then it would come out of that, and you would urinate, until it could take, but you have to wash this thing and take it out of you, put it inside of you, take it out, put it inside of you. Just a disgusting thing. And that's what a lot of times the eunuchs, they would look masculine, but they would look feminine too. All right. So King Artaxerxes, he had men of Israel that he had made eunuchs that were to keep guard over the women. All right. This is a verse that's from Flavius Josephus. I'm going to copy this. I'm also going to paste it so you all can see for yourself. So when the sister said, a woman could be replaced, I was like, nah. But then I read the scripture. I was like, yeah, you know what? Kudos to you, sister. You got that one. You hit that one smack on the head. So women can be replaced, but it's only wicked women who I would consider that would be in that arena. So if you don't know the full context of the story, go back and watch the last video. All right, watch my videos all the way through so you can completely learn, because there's nothing better, than being in sync. So this is the book of Flavius Josephus, book 11, chapter 6, and this is paragraph 1. And it reads, he hitherefore gave order that they should inform him what could be done by the law against her. So one of them, whose name was Memucan, said, this affront was offered not to him alone, but to all the Persians, who were in danger of leading their lives very ill with their wives, if they must be thus despised by them. For that none of their wives would have any reverence for their husbands if they had such an example of arrogance in the queen towards thee who rulest over all. Well, what does that verse mean? That verse means, look, man, your woman fronted on you, but really this front is going to be against all men if you don't do something about her. You got to check your woman. Otherwise, all the other women who are up under the queen, they're going to disrespect us, and then ain't nobody going to be able to live in peace. So this was the example that was given to what would happen to this woman named Vashti in the book of Esther, who fronted on King Artaxerxes. Accordingly, he exhorted him to punish her, who had been guilty of so great an affront to him, after a severe manner. And when he had so done, to publish to the nations what had been decreed about the king. So the resolution was to put Vashti away and to give her dignity to another woman. I so much love hearing this verse. And the reason being is because if you are a husband, man, and you've been treated disrespectfully or dishonestly, and you've had the Vashti spirit poured upon your household, well, here's validation right here. Here's validation. Give her honor to someone that's more worthy. All right. And that came from the wise men that were right there with Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. All right. So There's separation for you. But you can also take this separation to a higher level. I'm going to close this window down. You can take this separation to a higher level of actually looking in 1 Corinthians chapter 13 and see where the conversation of separation is. I personally don't encourage separation in Israel. I encourage that the man, you tough it out and you do everything that you can. You go to your last resort of keeping that woman until she finally, does everything she can to throw herself into the lake of fire. But you can't be the reason, men of Israel. You can't be the reason, of your woman's departure. Okay. You have to be strong. You have to be firm. You have to be sure, steady, and secure in making sure that you are the man that's doing everything you can to save your flock. Okay. So I'll tell you, like my mother told me, she said, you're a shepherd. But remember, son, she said, even sheep bite and headbutt. Apple, pineapple juice, and water. So even sheep will bite you. Even sheep will headbutt you. And this is very true. A sheep will put his head down and come running at you. When we were getting our sheep ready for Passover a few years back, I was holding the sheep's horn. And that's how you got to control them. You have to hold his head down and you have to steer them. You have to hold their head down and you have to walk them where you want them to go. All right. They'll even try to kick you with the side of their feet. Don't stand behind them because they'll definitely kick you. They'll bite you. So sheep are nice and they're all fluffy and they're all cute and stuff like that. They stink. Sheep stink. I ain't gonna lie. Sheep get funky. But they taste so delicious. Oh no. So as we get ready for Passover, which will be sundown the Shabbat day. Passover will be sundown the Shabbat day. So as we get ready for Passover, I need to go and get ready to go get some lamb and some sheep, some goat if we can. I prefer lamb. So remember that, family members, wives, all right, women, go watch the last video. You shouldn't want to be called a wife. All right, wife does not have a good etymology, a good meaning. But ribs, daughters of Israel, remember that. Even when it comes to your children, don't be surprised if your children buck up against you. If you got to, go to Kurt Franklin route, tell them what it really is. But by all means, if you can, be as peaceful as possible, not only with your husbands, but with your ribs, with your children. All right. Women, be peaceful with your husbands by all means. Husbands, don't make yourself hateful to your ribs. All right. And children, be honorable to your parents. We're going to get started real quick. Proverbs chapter 31 is very short. All right. But it's very powerful. It's very impactful. It's broken down into two sections primarily. One section is directions that's given to the man. The second section is directions that's given about and to the woman. So Proverbs chapter 1, verse 1 through verse 9 are instructions that's given to the man, which is the king, the head, the husband. If anybody's ever told you a woman can't teach, that's not true. It's just not true. It's just not. So women are not supposed to take head of the church. They're not supposed to take head of the congregation. Women aren't supposed to take head of their man. Like a woman should not go in front of her man, encompass her man. She should stay respectfully to the side and behind her husband, unless he be like Jacob and he say, I want you to go forward and give gifts and humble yourself before my brother Esau and wait for me. But a woman is not supposed to usurp authority over a man. The funny part about that is, even though that's true, our first teachers are women. Our first teachers are our mothers. Our first teachers are our big sisters. When Moses, when he was sent up the river and he had to go to Pharaoh's house, who do you think it was that followed behind Pharaoh? Who do you think it was that followed behind Moses? That when she watched her little brother go all the way down the bulrushes, go all the way down and got stuck in the bulrushes. Who do you think that was? That was his big sister. It was Moses' big sister that was right there, like my big sisters. My big sisters love me, and I love my big sisters. My big sisters look out for me. And I look out for my big sisters. It was Moses' Akwath and his Amma, his mother and his sister, that was there to take care of him his whole life. True enough, his brother Aaron was there also, but it was his mother. It was his big sister that said, you want me to go find you a nursing maid of the Hebrews to take care of him? And she came back with her own mama. How wonderful is that? She got her baby right back the same day. You can't make this stuff up. The same day. She sent her baby away. He floated down. Sister ran along the side of the reeds. Queen, I forgot her name. I forgot the name of the Egyptian Hamite Canaanite queen. Queen, you want me to see if I can get one of the Hebrew women to take care of the baby? The woman literally came back with her own biological mother. And you can't beat that. Because these are the principles that the most... Oh, my goodness. These are the principles that the Most High did. So with that being said, what do we see? We see that Yahweh has control over everything. All right. Sorry about that. We have a phone call just came through from one of my brothers. The Most High is in control over everything, and the women are our first teachers. So don't say a woman isn't supposed to teach. A woman is just supposed to teach accordingly. The woman is supposed to teach other women. She's supposed to teach the young children. She's even supposed to teach the young men. When a man, according to our culture, becomes to the age of 20, then he's able to go to war. But if you're 19 and you got a full-grown beard and you look like you Goku from Dragon Ball ZX, brolic as you want to be, you 19, you still up under your mama. So don't be like, oh, I'm a man now. Nah, you 17, 18, 19. You're not of the age of war. You're still under. And here goes something else. That leaves you young men to be in the house to protect your mothers too. See? And then when you hit 20, you can come to war with the rest of the men. So don't say and don't think, and don't let nobody tell you a woman is not supposed to teach. A woman is not supposed to usurp authority over a man. That's what she's not supposed to do. But our first teachers are our mothers, which is the same example that we're going to see right here in the book of Proverbs, chapter 31. Proverbs, chapter 31. I'm going to scoot this over. All right. And salute to everybody that's building, everybody that's watching with us. All right. All right. So Proverbs, chapter 31. Starting off, we see the words of King Lemuel, the prophecy that his mother taught him. What, my son, and what the son of my womb, and what the son of my vows? Give not thy strength unto women, nor thy ways to that which destroyeth kings. It is not for kings, O Lemuel. It is not for kings to drink wine, nor for princes strong drink, lest they drink and forget the law and pervert the judgment of any of the afflicted. Give strong drink unto him that is ready to perish, and wine unto those that be of heavy hearts. Let him drink and forget his poverty, and remember his misery no more. Open thy mouth for the dumb, and cause all of such as are appointed to destruction. Open thy mouth, judge righteously, and plead the cause for the poor. This was Proverbs chapter 31, verse 1 through verse 9. As you see, Proverbs chapter 31, verse 1 through verse 9 are all instructions that's given to the young men to teach them how to be better men. All right. So when you get from 1 to 9, it's instructions to the men. Now remember, from verse 1, it says, the words of King Lemuel, the prophecy that is taught him of his mother, that his mother taught him. She starts off saying, what, my son, and what the son of my womb, and what the son of my vows. So as we see, this mouth of a mother out of the mouth of a woman, you understand that? So it's the daughters of Israel who are our first teachers. It's our mothers of Israel who are our first teachers. So when you got the brothers that come along, a woman ain't supposed to teach. Negro, who you think taught you? Who you think attached you to their breast? Who you think it was that goo gagaed you, who carried you, who changed your diapers? And more than likely, who you think it was that birthed you? Who you think it was who caught you? Who you think it was that sucked the snot out your nose? Huh? It's not that women aren't supposed to teach. It's just that they have to teach and we have to teach in order. So women do have a place to teach in Israel. You're, a matter of fact, our first teachers. And for anybody else, if you have a problem with the concept of saying that a woman isn't supposed to teach, go to the book of 4th Maccabees and go and learn about the mother and her 7 sons. 4th Maccabees and 2nd Maccabees chapter 7. All right. Strong Israelite Levite woman. Her and her husband taught their children together. And in the end, it was the mother that was standing right there telling her children to take their death like a man. Now, when we get to Proverbs chapter 31, verse 10, it gets very specific about talking about a specific type of woman. And this type of woman is called a virtuous woman. All right, we're going to get this definition real quick. We're going to go to the Hebrew before we start reading. We're going to pull this up in Hebrew. All right. So Proverbs chapter 31 and verse 10, we're going to open it up with our tools. And again, this is why I like reading from Blue Letter Bible, because I like to read the Hebrew. I like to practice and read the Hebrew. All right. So it reads, it says, who can find a virtuous woman? Let's go to the word virtuous. It's the Hebrew word. It's the 2,428 Hebrew word. And it's hayal, hayal, hayal. It's how you say, oh, I'm sorry, hayal. It's how you say virtuous. All right. No, it is hayal. It's not cha, it's hayal. So hayal is the word for virtuous. Let's see what it says. What definition is it going to give us? Okay. So I know that we've heard. No, it is cha. It's hayal. Hayal. All right. Hayal is virtuous. Let's see. Who can find an hayal, an army woman, a man of valor, a host of a woman, of forces of a woman, a valiant woman, a strength woman, a riches woman, a wealth woman, a power woman, a substance woman, a might woman, a strong woman. The word hayal, it literally means strength, might, efficiency, wealth, army, strength, ability, efficiency, wealth, army, force. So who can find a hayal woman? A woman who has these characteristics of having what? Probably a force, whether of men, means, or other resources, right? So I absolutely do want a woman of force. First of all, I want a virtuous woman of good fortitude with good spiritual moral conduct. All right, good spiritual moral conduct, and everything else can fall into place. All right, but that extra mile, a chayal woman is an army. Look at this: wealth, virtue, valor, strength. Wow, that's beautiful. Able, activity, army, band of men, company, forces, goods, host, mighty, power, riches, strength, strong, chayal, substance, train, valiant, valor, virtuously, virtuous, war, worthy, and worthily. This is the word chayal for a virtuous woman. Let me take this and put this in place. If anybody wants these words, they're right there for you to have. All right. All praise the Most High for our viewer. All right. Now, the beautiful part about this is that there's some daughters that will read this and they will just completely not get it. It just won't make sense. It just won't understand. And then there's some daughters of Israel that'll read this and they'll be like, yo, that's talking about me. For those daughters of Israel who hear these words and you say that this is talking about you, hallelujah, it absolutely is talking about you. But for all of you daughters of Israel that hear these words, And you like, I don't get that. Don't wait. Why would I? What? I'm not doing that. It's not talking about you then. All right. Sad part about it is it could be you. All right. So description of a worthy woman. Proverbs chapter 31, verse 10. A virtuous, who can find a virtuous woman? For her price is far above rubies. Let's do this real quick. So we see a woman of Chayal, a virtuous woman. Her value is above rubies. Let's see. Let's get that word real quick. How about this? I'm going to read it, then come back to it. All right, because I can break down well over 10 times more valuable than diamonds compared to emeralds. Okay, compared to esmeralda. You talking about valuable, clear glass. That's it. But you want to have something of value? Get some rubies. Get you an emerald. All right. Look at this. Verse 11. The heart of her husband doth safely trust in her, so that he shall have no need of spoil. I want all of you women to pay attention to this. Verse 12, 13, 14, 16, 17, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. Man, let me go through this again. So from verse 12, she and her. If you don't know Proverbs chapter 31, verse 12 through verse 28, then you really don't know how precious you are, what your responsibilities are, and how much of a role the Most High has given you women in Israel. She and her are all the way through it. She is this, her husband, she, her husband, her children. So you daughters of Israel have a very powerful and high impactful role in our nation. Proverbs chapter 31, verse 12, she will do him good and not evil all the days of her life. She seeketh wool and flax and worketh them willingly with her hands. She is like a merchant ships. She bringeth her food from afar. She ariseth while it is yet night, giving meat to her household and a portion to her maidens. She considereth the field and buyeth it. With the fruit of her hands, she planted the vineyard. She girdeth her loins with strength and strengthened her arms. She perceiveth that her merchandise is good. Her candle goeth not out by night. She layeth her hands to the spindle, and her hands hold the distaff. She stretcheth out her hands to the poor. Yea, she reacheth forth her hands to the needy. She is not afraid of the snow for her household, for all her household are clothed with scarlet. She maketh herself coverings of tapestry. Her clothing is silk and purple. Her husband is known in the gates when he sitteth among the elders of the land. You see how powerful and important that is? The Most High all the way down says she, her, she, her, she, her. She does this, she does that. She, her hands, she. Her husband is known in the gates. What's the gates? The gates is the city that you live in. Her husband is known in Mexico. Her husband is known in Puerto Rico. All right. Oh, Yada Allah. Oh, that's Yada Allah's rib. Oh yeah, aren't you? Oh yeah, Khan, Yada Allah's your husband. Oh yeah, hallelujah, shalom. Yeah, we know your husband. Hallelujah. You don't gotta say no. Oh Yada Allah. Okay, Khan. Yeah. See, her husband is known in the gates. Look at this. When he sitteth among the elders of the land. Men of Israel, let me drop a bomb on you real quick. It's really hard to be an elder of Israel. It's really hard to be a teacher of Israel if your occupation isn't the word of Yahweh. If your occupation is a 9 to 5, I'm just going to say it like that. If your occupation is a 9 to 5 and you have to always be on clock, punching the contract, that's why it's good to have your own. You know, we have brothers that are professionals in their own professions that make their money on their own time frame. You know, to where they're not slaves or in servitude consistently, to where they have time to sit down and study the word of the Most High. And that's how we have to be. We have to make sure that we're not slaves, but we do give ourselves the servitude. Okay. The women minister to the men of Israel. And that's just how it is. I'm going to take away a few of these pages, knock down some of these descriptions. All right, let's get rid of surly. All right. There should always be a feminine context that comes with being a daughter of Israel. All right. There should always be a context of that's not what I was looking for. Let's try that one more time. Let's try that one more time. That's not what I was looking for. Man, I can't stand it when the computer works slow in my brain, man. Check this out. This is the book of Luke, chapter 16. Now, when the scriptures say that her children are clothed in purple, they have no fear of the winter. This shows you that the woman, she makes sure the children have everything they need. She makes sure the husband has everything he needs. She makes sure that the household has everything that they need. Her husband has no fear of the winter. Her children are clothed in purple. Purple is royalty. So it just doesn't say that they have enough. No. She is like the merchant ship. She brings in everything that the family needs and she supplies the family. Now, this has been a trait that's been going on since the beginning of time. The Most High made Eve as a helpmate. And for those daughters of Israel who have a hard time sharing their substance or they don't want to be a helpmate, then you don't have any value. You can be working at Ford Motor Company, GMC. You can be working at the post office. You can have whatever best contract. You could be your own business owner. But if you have a problem being a minister to your husband, to your man, and to your children, then your value is very low, no matter how much you think you have. You actually got nothing because you're not willing to be a minister. All right. Look at this. This is the book of Luke, chapter 16, verse 19. There was a certain rich man which was clothed in, look at this, purple and fine linen and fared sumptuously every day. This means he ate good regularly. This is the story of the rich man and Lazarus. So when you look at the example of rich man and Lazarus, what you see is that the rich man was clothed in purple. This is a sign of wealth, of being taken care of. And it should make every woman happy to know that, hey, listen, my man is taken care of. My children are taken care of. My house is just fine. Salute to Sister Betty. All right. The Sister Betty, man, double honors. We had a conversation the other day and she was like, I'm buying a van for my husband so he can do his ministry out of the van. That's right. That's right. Women ministered unto Jesus. So first, we have to know what the definition of what minister is, okay? All right, so in order for you to be a minister, you have to know what the definition of minister is. Now, somebody might say, but I'm not a minister, but you more than likely are. You more than likely are already by your position, by the things that you do. You're a minister by the taking care of your household, the supplication that your children have, making sure every morning when you get up, you know, the children have what they need. Sometimes they eat breakfast, sometimes they don't. All right. But they're going to eat throughout the day. All right. They're going to have everything they need. And this is what a mother does. A mother is a minister. A sister is a minister of the house. Okay. A big sister, a little sister, you're the ministers. And this is why it's so important also to teach our daughters how to be ministers, to teach our mothers how to be ministers. See? And our grandmothers, they would pass down a tradition of how to take care of things. This isn't a new custom. This is an old custom. It's just that we got to get back to it, and we have to make it normal. Okay. I'm gonna probably pull this up from my book. This is taking too long. I mean, I want to be able to show y'all because I want to get the breakdown, the explanation, but this is taking so long, man. Man, Most High's will, man. I need a quicker laptop, man, so I can work quicker. All right. Okay. So we're gonna get the book of Mark. We're gonna start with this right here. Mark chapter 15, verse 41. It reads, who also when he went into Galilee, 41, who also when he went into Galilee followed him and ministered unto him, and many other women which came up with him unto Jerusalem. Okay. Let's go back to verse 40. Man, this is so frustrating, man. I apologize. My little screen is really struggling to keep the momentum going. All right. Poor little screen. It's trying. Poor little Chromebook who could. My Chromebook is trying. All right. But I praise the Most High. This Chromebook has never seen pornography. There's never been anything unclean. This Chromebook was actually donated to us. And I was doing the ministry off my phone. The brother's name is Dawad. And the brother sent some shit. Really ain't like I like to take stuff from people. But the brother, he was like, tell me what you need and I'll send it, man. He's like, it's not enough. And I've been using it for about 2 years. So this is a ministry gift, a blessing. This thing has never been defiled. It's been only used for ministry. Netflix is on it, but outside from that, I've been using this Chromebook to teach the scriptures for a long time. And it's just time to upgrade. That's all. Okay. So let's get to this. All right. Throw out for everybody being patient. This is the book of Mark chapter. The point was that, when you have tools, use them for righteousness. Don't defile the things that are used for righteousness. So this is the book of Mark chapter 15, verse 40. It reads, there were also women looking on afar off, among whom was Mary Magdalene, the mother of James and Jesse, and of Joseph, and Shalom. All right, verse 41, it reads, who also, when he was in Galilee, followed him and ministered unto him, and many other women which came up with him unto Jerusalem. Now, this word ministered is what we're going to look at, because we'll see in several occasions where it says the women ministered unto. Well, when it ministered. All right, so let's go to it real quick. All right, ministered unto him is G1247. G1247. All right, so this is the Greek 1247th word. All right, let's see what it means. And you daughters of Israel, remember this, because you are ministers, and you're ministers in your own right, and you have ministry in you. That's why when you're growing up, you always want to help little girls. Can I do this? Yes, you can. Can I help with the? I want to do it. Okay, come on. I want to hold the baby. I know you do. Come here, my little minister. See, that's what the ministry is. Let me see if I get this Greek word. Dekaneo. This is dekaneo. All right. This is the Greek word dekaneo, which means to minister. Dekaneo, minister unto, serve, minister. It's used miscellaneously 5 times. The word dekaneo, or minister to the Lord, means to be a servant, to attend, domestic, to serve, to wait upon, to minister to one, render ministering offices, to be served, to minister unto, to wait at a table and offer food and drink to guests, of women preparing food. So every time the daughters of Israel are getting ready for the Shabbat, and they're helping get things ready for Passover, and they're going out and buying the food. See, in my family, I call it hunting. You're going hunting. Hey, Ahabia, the Most High be with you while you out hunting. Hey, go hunting. Go bring back a big kill. Go kill an antelope. Go kill a buffalo, a woolly mammoth. I don't care. Just go kill it and bring it home, Queen. All praise the Most High. Let's get this post up real quick. All right. Salute to everybody that's building, that's watching with us. All right. This is the online etymology of Proverbs chapter 31 of the woman bringing home the big hunt, the big kill of her being a minister. Okay. So we're going to start the screen share. All right. And I'm going to go back to reading. So Greek G1247 is dekaneo. It means of women preparing food. Look at this. i.e. to minister, supply food and necessities of life. This is what the Proverbs 31 woman does. She provides, she ministers the necessities of life. Look at this. To relieve one's necessities, all right, by collections, alms, to provide, take care of, distribute the things necessary to sustain life, to take care of the poor and the sick, who administer the office of a deacon in church and Christian churches to serve as deacon. Anything that may serve another's interest. All right. Minister a thing to one, to serve by supplying a thing. The word that's here is dekaneo, okay? So the word dekaneo is the word that's used when we're looking at the daughters of Israel, all right? And the ministry that the Most High gave, we can't do this without y'all, okay? We can't do this without, it's impossible. If you men don't want your ribs to be ministers, then you're saying you don't want her to do nothing for you, brother. That means you don't want her to cook. That means you don't want her to clean. Whatever. Now, this has nothing to do with the supremacy of one species over the other. This has to do with the direct order that the Most High ministers. You've always been ministers, flat out. All right. So very grateful. I pray that governor. Hey, governor. All you got to do is take that and go back to Proverbs chapter 31. When you go to Proverbs and what was called their substance. Okay. And no items to their personal being. Minister to the Lord and his substance. A minister, brother, your rib is a minister. It's just that the mic and jump up in front of the church. And she's supposed to be there and be a support. Man, there's nothing more beautiful than a virtuous woman that follows the lead of her husband, man. And that helps the life of everybody perpetuate further. Virtuous women ain't for everybody, though. The scriptures do say that a wicked woman is given unto a wicked man. This is true. But the righteous man, he that feareth Yahweh, will escape from the wicked woman. All right. So virtuous women aren't for virtuous men. Virtuous men are made for virtuous women, though. The Most High will turn around and sit you down. The Most High will put you in place. All right. So when we go back to Proverbs chapter 31, we see all of these beautiful things that the daughter of Israel, her. And it starts off, who can find the heart of her husband, does safely trust in her, so that he shall have no need of spoil. You see that? So everything that's geared towards the woman and the ministry of her and her husband, it takes you women right back to when you were little girls. It takes you back to where you was girls and you had a boyfriend, you know, little first, you know, whatever, you know. Your heart automatically wanted to be there, wanted to help, wanted to do. And if it hasn't had, then get ready to, because you might be getting ready to feel that feeling for the first time in your life. All right. You might be. The fact of the matter is this: the Most High made innately, he made women to be ministers, but women are to be ministers in their respectful duties. That's why you mothers got to teach your daughters how to be ministers right now. Give them stuff to do right now. Teach them how to be young ministers right now. And you husbandmen, teach the young men and teach the daughters how to be ministers and servants. Proverbs chapter 11, 31, verse 11. The heart of her husband does safely trust in her, so that he shall have no need of spoil. Why? Because she's going to minister. She's going to provide those things. All right. Verse 12. She will do him good and not evil all the days of her life. And this is something that's very important. All right. You got daughters of Israel that only do good for like a couple months. Some of them do good for maybe, okay, you did good for a few years. But what happened to all the days of your life? You just gave up. You just like, I'm tired. I can't do this no more. What you gonna do? What else you gonna do? And then women are so wicked. Sometimes they'll say stuff like, I don't know, not this. When I tell y'all, not only have I heard it all, I've seen it all. I haven't seen it. I haven't heard it all. I don't want to see it all. I don't want to hear it all because some stuff is so abominable. I don't even want to know. And I pray that it never happens. But the fact of the matter is, it does. Let's stick to this, though. So you got to remember this, daughters of Israel, that the Most High said that she will do him good, not evil, all the days of her life. Make sure I don't got a big juicy booger on my nose. All right. She seeketh wool and flax and worketh willingly with her hands, not begrudgingly. I've had to sit in front of women and I had to unfortunately force them to just make garments for their husband. That's the opposite of to have the ability to know how and to not be tearful in your doing. That's like somebody make a plate of food for you and they got your food. They be like, hey, you ready to eat? Here you go. There go your food. Throw it at them. Don't nobody want that. That's why the word willingly is right there. She seeketh wool and flax and worketh willingly with her hands. She goes out and seeks the wool. She seeks the flax. She knows what's the best prices. This is a good material. I like this. Okay, this is canvas. Okay, I can take a little bit of that that poly something and put it on top. I don't know all the terminologies, but I'm freestyling here. So, but she knows the different material. She said, okay, this is okay. I can't, I'm gonna have to wash this about 3 times because that's gonna bleed. Okay, this one's gonna shrink, so I might need to get an extra leap, whatever. So she knows these things. She brings these things in. And for all of you daughters of Israel, if you have ever been shamed for taking care of your husband or your man, then shame on them that shamed you. Shame on them who made the wicked songs and all the vicious terminologies about how a man is supposed. No, listen, the Most High guaranteed it'll be more shalom. It'll be more peace. You can't restrain a lioness. A lioness is supposed to go hunt. You can't force a lion to put on a suit and tie and make a lion go get a 9 to 5. No, the lion does exactly what he's supposed to do. I'm going to rest till about 2, 3 p.m. Then I'm going to get up and I'm going to go hunting. Then I'm going to come back. then I'm going to go there. I'm going to do that. Listen, we can't make up what we think the structure of the Most High is. We have to read his instructions. And any woman that doesn't want to operate in this capacity, I don't want to deal with her. Because what's going to happen is either she's going to try to conform me and make my life miserable, which is going to take us out of the will of the Most High. All right. That's the only thing I can think of. That's the only thing I can think of. I mean, why not, you daughters of Israel, take this beautiful position and live up to it? Lionesses are happy to go hunting every morning, stalking through the grass, going on a chase, making that kill and bringing it back home to the cubs and to the Abba. The scripture says she is like a merchant's ship. She bringeth her food from afar. She ariseth also while it is yet night. You see that? She gets up and does what? And giveth meat to her whole household. Wait a minute. Not only does she get up before the sun comes up and makes breakfast, she gets up while it's still nighttime and she makes dinner. But not only does she feed her whole household, look who else she feeds. And a portion to her maidens. Boom. That's proof right there. You women are supposed to have maidens, women helping you in your house. How selfish are you? God, that get on my nerves so bad. I apologize. I almost, golly gosh, golly gee willikers, peeper sneaks and knickerbockers. That just really upset me how selfish some women are to where they don't want to have people working with them. You can't do everything by yourself. You know how frustrating that is for a husband to have to be like, get you some help. Well, I don't want help, but I want you to have help. Maybe the husband wants you to have some help so you can have a break, so y'all can have more time together. Maybe the husband wants you to have some help so he can have more productivity in his whole household, in his community. You got some selfish lionesses that don't want to build a community because they want everything mine, me, my own, me, my. That stinks. It says that she ariseth also while it is yet night and giveth meat to her house. That shit is ugly, man. That's ugly whenever women be like that. And us men, we be having to be cool. We be having to take it. We be having to be like, you know, sometimes we just be like, all right, well, you know what? I ain't gonna say nothing, but it's gonna happen later. Look, man, that's ugly to have a team that don't want to work together, man. That's disgusting. She riseth also while it is yet night and giveth meat to her whole household and a portion to her maidens. This means you're supposed to have. No, I don't mean you're supposed to. It just means that you can. Well, whatever. And giveth a portion to her maidens. Don't you know that you daughters of Israel work better together when y'all actually come unified and one woman is on her flower, she can't do something somebody else can. Well, what if their two flowers sync up? Then you get somebody else in there to do the job too. It's community building. You don't see like this strife and this nastiness that followed Yahushua and the women of Israel. Everybody wanted to work together. And we got to get it back to that point to where now you daughters of Israel want to work together again. Don't feel ashamed if you're one of those women who don't mind having a sister wife. If you're one of them women who don't mind having a handmaid or a maiden or a doula or a birthing mother or a nurse living with, don't be ashamed of that. You sisters get together and watch y'all do more, have more, get more, while the other ones is just hucklebucking, gorilla face sucking and being mad. Just mad. Well, I'm fine over here all by myself. Be that. But everybody else is going to grow while you fine over there by yourself. Proverbs chapter 31, verse 16. Look what else she does. She considereth the field. See? She goes out and she know what? This is what we need. This is the house that I'm getting. And buyeth it. You know what? I'm just going to buy this house right here. Where? I'm going to buy this house right here in Puerto Rico. This is perfect for me. Oh, how about this? I'm going to buy this house in Mexico. She considereth the field and buyeth it. With the fruit of her hands, she planteth the vineyard. She does what? She girdeth her loins with strength and strengtheneth her arms. She perceiveth that her merchandise is good. So we started off with seeing that she does what? She ariseth also while it is night and giveth meat to her household. So she arises while it's night, right? Look at this. Her candle, verse 18, her candle goeth not out. It's the job done. I personally have issues. It's like scratching on a chalkboard, or it's like trying to chew on a broken tooth. Like, man, I really thought that was going. Or it's like trying to run on a broken foot. Like, you ain't getting far. You know, I'm not getting far. It's like running on a broken foot. It's like chewing on a sore tooth, depending on an unreliable messenger. So if we see what the negative is, we should also be able to see that the Most High has given us a different spectrum. We should see what the positive is. The positive is that she shares. That's the biggest thing that I've seen. A lot of Israelite women have problems with sharing. You got sharing problems. Me, give me mine, you selfish. But I already shared. You got to keep sharing. What do you mean? You don't stop. These are the principles that help the daughters of Israel to become a better. And some daughters is like, yo, I'm reading this. I don't got no problem with it. Well, for those of you who don't have a problem with it, I salute you and I applaud you. And I am not talking to and or rebuking you at all. I'm talking to those ones who are out there. And if you might think that this is you, I'm probably talking about somebody else, because we've heard all of these things before. We've heard the cases of the man. Listen, man, there are so many brothers who contact us and they tell us the issues that they're having because of the selfishness of their ribs. Like, we could be having this land. We could be doing this. I'm like, well, what's up? Man, my wife. I'm like, okay, well, that's the right words to use right there. My wife. Because your rib would work with you on it. Your wife is going to try to fight you. If y'all didn't get that, go back and watch the last video. Verse 31. Chapter 31, verse 19. She does what? She layeth her hands to the spindle. Oh, I love this part. She layeth her hands to the spindle, and her hands hold to the staff. She be making garments. She be on that sewing machine. All right. She stretcheth out her hands to the poor. Yea, she reacheth forth her hands to the needy. All right. She is not afraid of the snow for her household, for all her household are clothed with royalty, with scarlet. She maketh herself coverings of tapestry. Her clothing is silk and purple. Her husband is known in the gates. Look at this. When he sitteth among the elders of the land. Hey, show on. Hey, show on. Y'all watching us right now. Listen, we got the game twisted and we got it backwards. How our Western mind thinks, we think that it's supposed to be the man out here doing all of this stuff. All you got to do is just look up a video of a lion's pride. Look up a video of how a lion kingdom is set up. The husband is usually at home up under the tree with all of the lion cubs, and the mothers, the lionesses, are out there hunting, and they bring back the kills. Everybody that's in the Western world has it backwards. Let me read this to you real quick. This is Ecclesiasticus. Ecclesiasticus, and pay close attention. Matter of fact, I'm just going to pull it up on screen so y'all can see it too. I hope this thing worked right. All right. So this is Ecclesiasticus chapter 38. Okay. Ecclesiasticus chapter 38. Let's see if we can get it. Ecclesiasticus chapter 38, KJV. Perfect. I specifically just want 38, but let's see if I can get this. And I need all you men and all you women of Israel to know this. All right. Now, women of Israel, if you have be a minister, he might not be made to be a minister. Not everybody is made to be a minister. I was made to do this. But for all of you men that are ministers, and for all of you women who have husbands that are ministers, all right, know this. All right, this is the position that the Most High gave us. All right. So those of us that's in our office, in our position, and let me copy this and I'm going to paste it. So if anybody wants to read it for yourself, you can have it. All right. Everybody has a course. Everybody has a purpose, and everybody has an office that we have to fulfill. And in the process of fulfilling our office, we have to know what our specific jobs are. What are our duties? All right. All right. Now watch this. Shalom to everybody that's watching us. All right. The water for taking time and for building with us. All right. Now, this is Sirach chapter 24, verse 25, 26 on down. Telling y'all, it wasn't until I came into the truth that I changed my perception of what a working man was. Because when I was younger, it was like, you got to work. I was 12 and I was cleaning bricks. I don't know if y'all know what a brick cleaner is, but you sit in a big old pile of bricks and you have to chisel off all the mortar of the bricks. You chisel off all the mortar of the bricks. I got paid $15 a brick. $15 a brick. You know how much money that was at the age of 12? $15 a brick for sitting down. No, it was 12. I'm sorry, it was $12 a brick. It was $12 a brick. I apologize. $12 a brick, and it was a big old wall. They had knocked down this wall. My mama, she had talked to the owner. She was like, well, yeah, you know, my prince, you know, my son, his father worked on houses, and he got the skills. He can do it. So he's like, all right, be up here about 6 a.m. I was 12 years old. 6 a.m. I was up there. He gave me a hammer. He gave me a chisel. He said, this is what you do. You take the brick. You put it right here on the corner, and you clean each one. He said, each brick that you get the mortar off of, put it in this pile. Don't break it. I'll give you $12 for each brick. I was like, bet. Boy, I was a brick chiseling Hebrew. I smashed my hand a lot. I smashed my finger a lot. I cracked my knuckles a whole bunch. But my hands are big now. My hands are stronger now. I got my first real employment at the age of 12 cleaning bricks. From then on, it was over. Property, I say this all the time. Property manager, maintenance manager. That was my highest title because I was maintenance manager of this property. I could fix the whole building. I didn't care what it was. I could fix anything that was out there. Put the tool in my hand. I'm going to get the job done. Matter of fact, don't even give me that tool. I'm going to go and buy the tool that I need because you need the right tool for the right job. But then when I came into the truth, when the Most High woke me up, I found out that wasn't the job I was supposed to be doing. It was good for the time being, but my real job was this right here. Let me prove it to you. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 38, and this is for all of you men that are fellow ministers, okay? So we see the position of a woman. We're going to see the work position of a man now. A sister asked me before. She was like, well, what's the man's responsibility? I was like, well, it really isn't one. You got Proverbs chapter 31, which says what the woman's supposed to do specifically. And now I'm going to read Sirach chapter 38, what the man's position is supposed to do. Mine is the minister. Watch this. Proverbs chapter 31 and Sirach chapter 38, starting in verse 24. The wisdom of a learned man cometh by opportunity of leisure. You see that? Wisdom of a learned man comes by opportunity of having leisure time. You see that? Of having leisure. What's leisure? It's having time to be able to sit back, to chill, to wake up at 6 in the morning and to hallelujah, precept. Let me get this book over here. All right. What's that word for that over there? All right. Okay, those are my receipts. I got to take that back. Okay. Here's the Hebrew for that. Okay. See, opportunity of leisure. So wisdom of a learned man comes by opportunity of leisure. And he that hath little business shall become wise. How can he get wisdom that holdeth the plow, and that glorieth in the gold, and driveth oxen, and is occupied in their labor, and their talk is of bullocks? Let me explain this. How can a man get wisdom that's always driving behind a Chevy 2500 extended king cab all black? Because that was my truck. Chevy 2500. That was a bad truck. Extended king cab. Well, you know how much drywall I can fit in the back of that truck? I didn't even have to let the tailgate down. I was young too, driving the big boss truck. How can a man get wisdom who holds the plow and who glorieth in the gold? The word is not G-O-L-D, but G-O-A-D, all right? So literally, if you're holding the plow, okay, you got to hold the plow from the back. The gold is the part that's in the front, all right? So the part that's plowing through, the gold that's plowing through is like, man, hey, you know, I just picked up that new razor edge gold that goes on the front of the plow. You got the new one? Yeah, I got that new one. See? And the man that driveth oxen. How can a man get wisdom that is occupied in their labors and whose talk is of bullocks? My talk isn't of the things of the Most High. My talk is of my Chevy 2500 and how many and what's my inventory looking like on my material list and how many work orders I got done. Yeah, man, you know, I got to call HD. I got to be on the phone with Home Depot all morning, man. I got to get these orders in. Yeah, let me get 8 5-gallons of dry lock. Let me get 9. Let me see. It's 8 5-gallons of dry lock. All right, so I'm going to need okay, so I'm gonna need about 12 5-gallons of oil-based cement paint, and we got some mold down there. So let me get 5 gallons of Kills, but make sure it's the semi-gloss Kills. I don't want the flat. I need semi-gloss. Yeah. Okay. All right. See, that's my talk. Whatever your profession was, mine was putting houses together. Houses, apartments, man. Oh, yeah, I need that new paint sprayer. That was mine, all right? How can I get wisdom if that's my occupation? How can he get wisdom who holdeth the plow and that glorieth in the gold and driveth oxen and is occupied in their labors and whose talk is of bullocks? He giveth his mind to make furrows. I gave my mind to how I'm going to get this this Ryobi drill. All right, I can do this all day. Drill, brother. I use DeWalt. Well, brother, I use Craftsman. I like Hitachi. I like what I like. Cobalt and Ryobi was my brands. Okay, all right. Back to the point. He giveth his mind to make furrows and is diligent to give the kind fodder. So this means always feeding the animals. You always had to take care of your vehicles. Always had to get tune-ups for my trucks. So every carpenter and workmaster that laboreth night and day, and he that cutteth and graves seals are diligent to make great variety and to give themselves to the counterfeit imagery to watch and to finish the work. The smith also, so now it's talking about the blacksmith. So it went from being a farmer and a carpenter. Now it's about to buy the anvil and considering the ironwork. He's not looking all fresh and rejuvenated and young and get skinny, get fat, get skinny, get muscular, get fat, get skinny. Doing is wasting away his flesh. The heat is wasting away his flesh. Look, he fighteth. Oh man, I clicked the button. This is about to do the thing. Don't do it. Just stay right here. Don't reload. Stay right here. Oh, I did it. Oh man. All right, go back. Ecclesiastes chapter 38, verse 28. All right. All right, chapter 38, verse 28. Come on, stop bugging. 38, 28. Okay. The smith also sitteth by the anvil, and considering the ironwork, the vapor of the fire wasteth his flesh. He fighteth with the heat. See, he fighteth with the heat of the furnace. The noise of the hammer and the anvil is ever in his ears, and his eyes look still upon the pattern of the thing that he maketh. He setteth his mind to finish his work. He constantly heard the sound. You know, if you worked in a machine factory, you heard the bung, bung, zzz, all day, zzz, 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 zzz. Or you hitting the hammer all day, tang, 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 tang. The scripture says that sound is ever in your ears. So you're not actually listening to the word. You're not listening to the scriptures. Now, me, when I was doing carpentry, I used to always have headphones in, and I'll be listening to scriptures. I'll be listening to wisdom. Somebody be looking dead at me, and I'll be looking right at them like, uh-huh. But in my ear, it'd be like, and the word of the Lord said unto Abraham. And I'll be like, uh-huh. So, but I also always had the sound of that drill, the feeling of the drill in my hand, the vibration of the drill, the knowing how to press it. Which screws do I use for this? Should I use a self-tap? I think I'm going to use a self-tap because it can cut through the metal. See? So the skill of our craft, whatever we give ourselves to, watch this. Verse 28, all right? The smith also sitting by the anvil. He finishes the work perfectly. He polishes it perfectly. Verse 29. So do the potter sitting at his work and turning the wheel about with his feet, who is always careful to set at his work and maketh all by their number. So the worker of the potter, he has to take the clay, he has to sit at the anvil, he has to turn the anvil with the wheel with his foot, he has to fashion the clay, he's got to get it perfect, he's got to take it off. This is number 146. Boom, put it over there. He fashioned the clay with his arm. He boweth down his strength before his feet. He applieth himself to lead it over and is diligent to make clean the furnace. All these trust to their hands, and every one is wise in his works. Without these, a city cannot be inhabited, and they shall not dwell where they will, nor go up and down. So here's the freedom to move around how we need to. All right. It's good to have your profession. The scriptures also tell us all these trust in their hands, and everyone is wise in his work. See? So they know what they're doing. It's not taking away the credibility from them. Watch this. Without these type of men and women, a city cannot be inhabited. Here's the downfall. All right. They shall not dwell whether they will. So they can't go wherever they want to. Why? Because all of these men take your trade anywhere in the world. If you're a professional craftswoman, a craftsman, you can take your trade anywhere in the world. If you work with your hands and you're like, yo, listen, I'll take this show on the road, then you can go wherever you want to. But for those that are contractually bounded, you can't go nowhere. You got to wait till you get your retirement. You got to wait till you retire before you can leave. Without these, cannot a city be inhabited, and they shall not dwell where they will, nor go up and down. Here's the bad part. Here's the other bad part about it. They shall not be sought out. Hey, what's that one scripture say about, would you mind holding this case for us? Because they're going to know that your skill is to make iron. Your skill is to sit down and to say the things of Moses. Your skill isn't the things to say the things of the prophets. See? They shall not be sought in public council, nor sit in the high congregation. They won't be a part of Mashara Yasha'Allah. They won't be a part of the government of Israel. They won't be a part of those elders of 50s, 10, 100, 1,000. They're going to be a part of that council. They're going to be a part of the ones that go over there doing the work. Oh, yeah, that's a good brother, man. But yeah, I wouldn't put him on this court case. Why not? He don't know nothing about this. That brother's a professional pool cleaner. He don't know about the Torah. His mind is on chemicals. His mind is on making sure nobody get booty worms. Because you get booty worms from swimming pools. Everybody has small amounts of fecal matter around their rectum all the time. So whenever you get in swimming pools, some people there's a booty worm, and I learned about it. I'm actually a certified pool operator, so that's one of my licenses I got. So yay, certified pool operator. Where are my certified pool operators? Where are my certified pool operators? Ha 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 ha. See. But he has to make sure that the chemicals are at a certain level so people don't get sickness. That's what his mind is on. So we're not going to ask him for counsel on this. But what about seafood, yada yada? Oh yeah, he knows about that. Okay, we'll ask him to be on the council. See? So that's how that works. The people that are stuck in their positions, they can't go throughout how they want to. They can't inhabit the city the way that they will. They can't go up and down. Nor shall they be sought in public council, nor shall they sit in the high congregation. They shall not sit on the judge's seat, nor understand the sentences of judgment. They cannot declare justice and judgment. They shall not be found where parables are spoken, but they will maintain the state of the world, and all their desire is in the work of their craft. You see that? So when we're talking about the men of Israel, the ministers, what are they to do? What are they to bring in? Wait a minute. Let me tell you this right here. Back to verse 24. The wisdom of a learned man come by opportunity of leisure. And he that hath little business shall become wise. Hold on, we're almost done with this, and then we're going to go back to Proverbs chapter 31. So we see the woman, we see the man, we see the working man, and we also see the working man. Because understand this, ministry is a work, ministry is a labor. Don't get it twisted. All right. The Most High said, if you don't work, you don't eat. All right. Look at this. We're still on the same subject of him that's the minister, and that does the ministry of the works. Let's see. Verse 1, we're in the book of Sirach, chapter 39. But he that giveth his mind to the law of the Most High, and is occupied in the meditation thereof, will seek out the wisdom of all the ancient, and be, what's this word? Occupied. See that? And be occupied in prophecies. He will keep the sayings of the renowned men, and where subtle parables are, he will be there also. You better believe I'm going to the next Hebrew Israelite Summit. You better believe I'm going to the next over, because I want to be where wise men are, where parables of wisdom are, so I can hear these things. It's like, again, I got to use this example. Let's say, again, the example of a martial arts instructor. By just reading a book, no, they got to get out there and demonstrate. They got to be around other wise men and wise women who know, and who can be like, you know what, that was good. But next time when you do that, you want to land like this, or, you want to make sure that you do this on a pit. No, turn your waist. Okay, you're doing good, but you want to bend your knees a little bit more. No, you want to be amongst those who will give you wise counsel. See, he will seek out the secrets of the grave sentences and be conversant in dark parables. He shall serve among great men and appear before princes. He will travel through strange countries, for he hath tried the good and the evil among men. He will give his heart to resort early to Allahia that made him, and to pray before the Most High, and will open his mouth in prayer and make supplication for his sins. And when the Most High will, he will be filled with the spirit of understanding, and he will pour out wise sentences and give thanks unto Yahweh in prayer. He shall direct his counsel and knowledge, and his secrets shall he meditate. He will show forth that which he hath learned, and shall glory in the law of the covenant of Yahweh. You see why when you go to Proverbs 31, verse 23, it says, he sitteth among the elders of the land. Because if I need to, I grab my tape measure. It's just beautiful. When I walk in, I look around, I'm like, man, this is just really great put together. This is good. That's not. Oh, that's nice. If I need to, I can still get my tape measure and work my tools. But my mind now is occupied in the prophecies. Now my mind is occupied in the dark sayings and the parables of Yahweh, because I had to put down the tools for a minute. You know why? Because wisdom cometh at a man's leisure. Proverbs chapter 31. The whole thing is about the woman. She maketh herself coverings and tapestry. Her clothing is silk and purple. Her husband is known in the gates when he sitteth among the elders of the land. You understand that? Let's get back to this. Verse 34. She maketh fine linen and selleth it. Hey, babe, I'm going to call you back. I had to go to FedEx. You ain't even have to tell me that you was doing that. But the water, thank you, Habia. I'm so glad you called me and told me that. The Most High, Shema Ayel Atha. Okay, Yahweh Shema Atha, Habia. She maketh fine linen and selleth it, and delivereth girdles unto the merchant. Strength and honor are her clothing. Now, why do we see strength and honor are her clothing? Let's go back to Clementine homilies. Boy, we're going to learn. Because listen, this is what it's got to be. This is what it's got to be. We got to do this thing for real, precept upon precept. And it's not just one place. It's literally everywhere. All right. So listen, let's go back to, let's get Clementine homilies, Proverbs chapter 31. Look at this. Proverbs chapter 31, verse 25. It says, strength and honor are her clothing, and she shall rejoice in the time to come. So right now, she's tired. Is this going to be cool, King? My Lord, is this going to be cool? Hallelujah, hallelujah. Okay. Come on. Strength and honor are her clothing, and she shall rejoice in the time to come. Right now, mama, you tired, but you got to do your job. You got to finish your task. Why? So you and your family and your husband and everybody can rest. You're going to rejoice in your time to come. But until then, keep making them arms strong. Until then, keep delivering them packages. All right. Keep your hand on the staff, on the sewing machine, on the distaff. Keep doing your thing. All right. Watch this. Strength and honor are her clothing. What does that mean? If you missed this on the last video, I'm going to do this again. For those who heard it on the last video, pay attention, okay? The chaste woman is adorned. So we're looking at a woman being clothed. All right. Proverbs chapter 31:25. Strength and honor are her clothing. The chaste woman is adorned with the Son of the Most High as the bridegroom. She is clothed with holy light. Her beauty lies well within a regulated soul. She is fragrance with ointment, even a good reputation. She is arrayed in a beautiful vesture, even in modesty. She wears about her precious pearls, even chaste words. She is radiant, for her mind has been brilliantly lighted up or lighted up. Upon a beautiful mirror does she look, for she looks into the Most High. Beautiful cosmetics does she use, namely the fear of the Most High, with which she admonishes her soul. Beautiful is the woman, not because of chains of gold on her, but because she has been freed from transient lust. The chaste woman is greatly desired by the king. She is wooed by the king. She is watched by him. Now let's go backwards. She is freed from transient lust. All right. She is beautiful because she is free from transient lust. Okay. All right. The beautiful woman is not beautiful because she has gold chains on her, but because she has been freed from transient lust. Look at this. All right. Beautiful cosmetics does she use? All right. So the fear of the Most High, her Most High is wisdom. And that's what makes her mind. You got to study, you daughters of Israel. It ain't enough just to look and be like, I see that. I see that. Hallelujah. Okay. That's how you get that beautiful light, that radiant light within you. Now, some daughters, you can listen, and that's the best that you can do is listen. And that's absolutely wonderful. Just as long as you know you can go to your husband with the word and allow him to feed you. All right. Watch this. The beautiful woman, she uses chaste words. That's her pearl necklace. All right. The beautiful woman, she operates in modesty. That's her beautiful vesture or her clothes. The beautiful woman, the virtuous woman, she has a good reputation. That's her beautiful perfume. She has a well-regulated soul. That's her beauty. All right. She has the holy light, which is the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. You can find that in the book of Baruch, chapter 4. If I'm going too fast for you, just push pause or rewind it. I'll give it back to you. She's clothed with the holy light. That's the law, statutes, and commandments. Baruch chapter 4, verse 1 through 2. But watch this. She also has Yahweh Shai as her bridegroom. I have talked to women who said, I have never committed adultery. I will never commit adultery. First of all, because I'm scared of Yahweh. When I first heard that, I was like, this is a counseling session. I'm like, wow, sister. So it's not that you're afraid of your husband or you respect your husband. You're afraid of the punishment of the Most High. So therefore you won't commit adultery. And she was like, basically, well, you can take that either way. A couple ways. She really wasn't, on her husband or like that. The other way was that she really feared the Most High, that she just, she was more afraid of the Most High and his judgment than she was to commit adultery. And that's a good stance. Because all of you daughters of Israel, all of you Proverbs 31 women have to have Yahweh Shai in mind before your husband. We're only here right now for you to minister to and for us to minister to you. We have children together. We love each other. We keep the holy convocations together. But at the end of this great walk, every man, his goal, his objective should be to hand you over into the hands of Yahweh Shai. And he will put a crown upon your head, every one of you. Let's get that real quick. We're going to get the book of 2nd Ezra. Okay. This is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 2 and verse 42. Know this, O ye men of Israel, your last destination with your woman, she's yours, but she's not yours to abuse. All right. And we're going to get that too. All right. Domestic violence is not something that Israel operates in. We are not to beat our wives. We're not to abuse our wives. We are not to rape our wives. First of all, she's your woman, so she should be willing to give you the good loving anytime you ask for it. All right. That's her first objective, is to be able to be willing and happy and loving to serve you. Okay. So watch this. Man, I was in a couple different zones, man. I forgot where I was at. Yeah, one of them. Okay, so not to beat our wives. Don't beat your wives. I forgot what, crowns. So the Most High is going to put the crowns on you, daughters of Israel's heads. But husbandmen, it's up to us to lead our women to Yahushua so they can get their crown. Y'all remember that song? I shall wear a crown. Did you ever know the choir thing? When it's all over, I shall wear a crown. But that was my song, actually. I got kicked out of the choir for singing that song. You know, I didn't know that if you're in a choir, you're only supposed to sing your section. I was singing the whole song because I had it all memorized. I was on soprano, I was on alto, I was on delta, phi, gamma. I was on every octave. I was just happy in the Most High, so I'm singing everything. I'm gonna put on my robe and tell the story how I made it over. Sooner, oh yeah, oh. Y'all let me know where I gotta go, because I'm gonna jump on the scooter and go that way to get the lamb. Unless you want to wait. Bet. Okay. All right. Shalom. Most I'll be with you, Sifu. Hallelujah. That's a cool brother right there, man. Man, all praise the Most High, man. He like a Miami Vice type Negro. This brother is cool. I'm talking about like you just expect him to pull up to your house in a damn jet boat, like a like you just expect him to come parachuting down. He's just a cool brother, man. Welcome back. Okay. Okay, so but back to this real quick. The water for everybody waiting and listening. This is the book of 2nd Ezra, and this is chapter 2 and verse 42. 2nd Ezra chapter 2 and verse 42, and it reads, I, Ezra, saw upon Mount Sion a great people whom I could not number, and they all praised Allahia with songs. So for those, I don't think I can sing, but I like to sing. It makes me feel good to sing, you know. I know that in this day, everybody's going to be singing. It's not going to be no embarrassment or no shyness. We're all going to sound beautiful with our own octave, our own voices, because we're finally going to be standing before Yahushua, and it's going to be so many of us we can't number. And think about this. Moses took his time to sprinkle each individual one of us. The pastors of the church even took time to put oil on each one of our heads. At this time, it's going to be an innumerable amount of us, and Yahushua is going to place a crown on each one of our heads. Think about that. Brother, don't you want to be there to see your sister, your daughter, your rib, your niece, your mother? Don't you want to be there and be like you did your ministry to help her get her crown? Can you imagine Yahushua looking at you with that fearful look, mad at you because you abused the daughter of Israel, because you hurt, you neglected, you misused, you mistreated? Sometimes I get cut. Listen, I've been cussed. I had a woman spit at my back one time. The woman spit at my back. I didn't like what she said, and the woman spit at my back, man. I had a woman punch me in my back one time, and I'm not a little dude. I'm gonna keep it 1200. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Afterwards, she was up against the wall, and after that, she was like, "Well, I shouldn't do that." You're right, you shouldn't do that. But to this day, I still feel the disgrace of her punching me in my back while I was walking away. Like, I still feel that disgrace. If I would have turned around and unleashed my masculinity on her and showed her how much of a man that I was, and we was in a position, in a place to where it's like, if I would have let loose, or if I would have exacted vengeance, then, you know, it would have been a free for all. It wouldn't have been, we would have been up in there tussling. Nah, she just would have got beat up by a man. But then would I really had been a man? Or would I had reverted to a wild beast? It takes a real man to be able to hold integrity. And it's always, remember this, man, if you've ever been offended by a woman, if you've ever been spit at, if you've ever been cussed out, you've ever had your children taken, you've ever been told, I love you, but I'm not in love with you, if you've ever been slapped, you ever had any of these things happen to you, and you've really held your integrity, then just keep holding on. Just keep holding on, man. It's a better day coming, guaranteed. All right? Because our reward in the end will be the Messiah blessing us, not the woman. And women, it's important for y'all to know this. When you dishonor your husbands, you lose a piece of him. And it's like, it's so sad because I think women know it. Like, they know it. They just keep doing it. Point is this right here. Brothers, you want to be strong enough to continue so you can get that woman her crown, so you can get her through this walk, through this life. Y'all make it through together, and you see her get her crown, you know, and be like, I made it over. I'm gonna put on my robe and tell the story how I made it. All right, so this is the book of Sirach, chapter 2, verse 42. And I, Ezra, saw upon Mount Sion a great people who I could not number, and they all praised Yahweh with songs. And in the midst of them there was a young man of high stature, taller than all the rest, and upon every one of their heads he set a crown. And he was more exalted, and I marveled at greatly. So I asked the angel and said, Sir, what are these? He answered and said unto me, These be they which have put off the mortal clothing and put on the immortal, and have confessed the name of Allahiah. Now are they crowned and receive palms. And then, verse 46, then said I unto the angel, What young person is it that crowneth them and giveth them palms in their hands? Verse 47, he answered and said unto me, It is the son of Allahiah, whom they have confessed in the world. And began I greatly to commend them, and stood so stiffly for the name of Allahiah. I had a hard time reading that because I was about to shed tears. Don't ever give up on confessing the name of Yahushai. Stand up for Yahushai, because at the end of this, you want to see the angel of the Most High. You want to see the son of Yahweh. You want to receive your palm, and you want to receive your crown. Men of Israel, don't ever divorce your wife. If she disobeyed, if she's rude, if she's froward, she's disrespectful, don't go give her a license to sin. You keep encouraging. Now, situations might turn out differently. I don't teach divorce. I don't teach divorce save it be for death or for adultery. And if it's death, well, you're dead. You're not married to her no more. Sister, you know, you're a widow. Brother, you're a widow. All right. Now you're free to marry again. All right. But I don't believe in teaching the divorce. And if anybody wants to talk about teaching divorce, just hit me up. Let's talk about it. Because that's one you're going to lose with me. All right. Flat out. So we see that our first objective is to give the woman, help her to get her crown. All right. Women, stay with your husband, because know ye not that no adulterer shall inherit the kingdom of heaven. That's got to be a sad life to know that you're an adulterer. Yo, I committed adultery, and the truth, I'm dealing with this brother's wife, and I can have sex with that brother's wife. Nah, man. Nah. Now, for the women that have been put away, you know, that's a very sad case. That's a very sad case, you know. There still is a possibility that even you daughters that have been put away, there's still a possibility that you can continue this life in righteousness and truth, all right, with Yahweh and with the family. There's still a possibility, man. I had this one she made a beautiful, this sister said the most beautiful thing to me. She was like, can I be your concubine? And I just thought that was just the most beautiful and humble statement ever. I mean, if I can't be your wife, can I be your concubine? You know how that beautiful that made me feel? Not just externally, but like internally. This means this woman was willing to say, I just want to be a part of your life. Man, I praise Yahweh all up and down, man. So you men of Israel, it is not for us to abuse our wives. We have a standard that we're supposed to do. I'll read that standard in a moment. All right. Let's finish the book of Proverbs chapter 31. And then I'm going to check the comments. What's our time frame looking like? How long we've been running? Looking good? Oh, 1 hour and 40 minutes, man. That's wonderful, man. Hey, shalom, shalom. I seen you. Hey, Jude, I seen you real quick. So let's finish this up. This is the book of Proverbs chapter 31. It reads, strength and honor are her clothing. And we just read in Clementine homilies what that strength and honor is those beautiful attributes of virtue. All right. She shall rejoice in the time to come. She openeth her mouth with wisdom, not with curse words, not with swearing, not with profanity, not with rude, crude speech. She openeth her mouth with wisdom. You see that? And in her tongue is the law of kindness. In her tongue is the law of kindness. I had one sister say to me, she was like, look, I come in peace, because I was about to get on my high horse. And I was about to start galloping. She was like, hold up, wait, I come in peace. And that just settled me down real nice and easy. I was like, you know what? The way that sister just humbled me, now I can't even say nothing. I was like, okay, what's up? Whatever you say, you're right. All right. That humble spirit will always win. Remember this, daughters of Israel, a soft answer turneth away wrath. You will never lose giving a soft answer. Now, you'll know if you're giving a soft answer to a wicked man because they won't know how to reply. A man of the truth, he's going to try to quell the situation. A wicked man is going to try to inflame the situation. Let's get back to this. Proverbs chapter 31, verse 27. She looketh well to the ways of her household. All right. She eateth not the bread of idleness. Man, I hate that, man. The bread of idleness is like, bro, what did you do? Like, she eateth not the bread of idleness. She looketh well to the ways of her household. All right. Chapter 28. This is the blessing that the children of a virtuous woman will say. Her children ariseth up and call her blessed. Her husband also, and he praiseth her. See that? So husbands, praise your ribs for doing righteousness. All right. This is what he says. Many daughters have done virtuously. All right. Many daughters have done mightily, but thou excellest them all. Here's something to know. Keep this in mind, brothers. Favor is deceitful and beauty is vain, but a woman that feareth Yahweh shall be praised. Favor is deceitful. Beauty is vain. Whether the favor be in, just, kindness. You know what? Let's do this real quick. Let's look and see what the Hebrew word is right here for favor. All right. Let's see what the Hebrew word is for favor. All right. Hachan. All right. Or han. All right. So we have chan and we have hachan. Not to be confused with kahan, but this is hachan or chan. So chan is deceitful. Yo, can you do a chan for me? I need you to do me a chan. I need you to do me a favor. So what is chan? Chan is grace, favor, gracious, pleasant, precious, well favorite. I think I want to name my next daughter Khan. Oh, that's like Yachanan. Oh, that's like Yachanan. Oh, that's fly. Okay. Khan. Yachan. Yachan. Oh, that's beautiful. Okay, maybe a different name for my next daughter, my next son. I need to start thinking of names. Okay, so we have grace, favor, charm. Charm is deceitful. Favor is deceitful. Grace is deceitful. Elegance is deceitful. Favor is deceitful. Acceptance is deceitful. Khan, graciousness. All right. Subjective, kindness, favor, or objective, beauty, favor, graciousness, pleasant, precious, well favored. Okay, all praise the Most High. Okay, so Khan is favor. So favor is deceitful, all right, and beauty is vain. So again, with me personally, I'm gonna be honest, y'all. I actually don't go for looks. I go for what's right in the sight of the Most High. I go for in the sight of the Most High. What's right? That's what gets my attention. All right, you know that Lauryn Hill song, "Tell Him." You know the whole "Let me be patient, let me be kind, make me unselfish." Like that's so beautiful, man. Okay, so favor is deceived, but it's also based off of 1 Corinthians chapter 13. And that's also a part of our reading. We're going to do 1 Corinthians chapter 13 also, but not right now. So, woman that feareth Yahweh shall be praised. Who works, praise her. Praise her in the gates. Honor that's due for the ministry. That's Yahweh Shai. Verse 31 does so much because it not only teaches me how women are supposed to. Right? So, with that being said, church open. The doors to the church are open. That's real cultic like, ain't it? But anyway, but yeah, the doors. If anybody got anything to say, yo, please, let's use this time to build, bring it out. Again, salute to you tonight. Wakanawan, I'm happy to see you on here. Great answer. I spoke on your response last time. That was wonderful that you did, that you put that building up there. All right. I know, Shalom. I know. Wow. Taking notes. Hallelujah. Wonderful. Beautiful to see. All right, tribe of Judah, Shalom, LOL, Khan, elder. Okay, all praise the Most High, hallelujah, hallelujah. LOL, Khan, selfishness stinks. Oh my goodness, selfishness stinks. I hate selfishness. You can't get nothing done with it. And then you gotta wrestle with selfishness. You gotta like be like, I'm trying to get stuff done, but selfishness is in the way. I hate selfishness. It stinks so bad. It's poo-poo caca. All right, Aliyah Shabai, she said, hallelujah, the water for the salute. And then this is a link that I put up with, that was Sirach chapter 38. So make sure y'all check out them links that I put up. Northern Kingdom is definitely in the building. Music, Shalom. I'm glad I got a laugh out of you. All right, Anya Havlakah. The water, thank you for the con for whatever reason the con was. I appreciate and I respect you. Aliyah Shabai, got a laugh out of her. Appreciate that. And then we got H. Judah, Shalom, Big Akim, and then Kwam Yasharala. All praise Yahweh. All right. So I try to keep these videos up under 2 hours. So 1 hour and 1.5 hours is usually good. So I think I really like this. So it's like 1.5 hour, we do my drash. I go through, I read, the comments, conversations. And I think this is a good time. This is perfect timing. I want to read this last section. And this part, I'm going to read this on our next upcoming video. This is the third part. This morning we started with Genesis or Psalms chapter 25. Psalms 25. Then we did 1 Peter chapter 13. Everybody let the comments flow in, man. Start saying something, and I'm going to read and check the comments, okay? I'm going to read and check the comments as soon as we get started on, as soon as I get ready to shut down again. So make sure you give all your salutes and all that good stuff. I don't want to shut anybody down. I don't want to miss anybody because you're all very important to me. All right, Anya Bukam, I love you all. So we did You know what we got to do also? We got to do Genesis chapter 24. And the reason why we got to do Genesis chapter 24 is because that was a verse to show you women, don't be ashamed. There is a such thing as love at first sight. There's sometimes a person can walk past you and you be like, hey, I just seen you. I love you. Men, don't feel ashamed if you feel like, hey, this is love at first sight. There's no shame in that. And I know some personal situations. All right. I do believe in love at first sight. But also, let me get this real quick. I'm going to get Flavius Josephus against Appian, book number 2. So when you look at the consummation of Rebekah and Isaac, our father and our mother, you'll see that their relationship was instantaneous. Their relationship was instantaneous, and it didn't take any time. All right. It didn't take any time for them to start their consummation process, you know, so nobody can ever tell you that, you know, oh man, sister, you seen that brother the same day, you know, he said something stupid like, I like your hat, you know, and you just got up and followed him and you've been following him ever since. There's nothing wrong with that. You feel me? There's nothing wrong with knowing that, you know, like, hey, wow, I found this sister, I found this brother, and, you know, we feel this way about each other. Okay. I'm going to get these scriptures or, you know, hey, we just met, you know, and, you know, we just met. And since we just met, you know, things are like this, you know, there's nothing wrong with that. So that's a good reason for reading on our parents' marriage of Rebekah and Isaac and see how they came to music. Shalom, how music, you already know what it is. All praise, man. Appreciate it, King. Appreciate it. All right. And then H. Judah, you already know what it is. I'm able to come. All right, so here's something. If you want to, you can copy and paste it. I actually use this whenever I'm teaching on marriages, whenever I'm teaching on consummation, how marriages are supposed to go. If you are courting somebody, how it should go. And I'm going to read it real quick before we get off of this video. All right, so this video is going to go a little bit over, but it'll be worth it. All right, you may not have heard this. Okay, so this is the book of Flavius Josephus. You may have heard it. All right, Flavius Josephus, book number 2. Against Appian. This is paragraph 2, line 199. Okay. Now, this verse is not for the faint-hearted. This is a very strong and very powerful verse. It does talk about things that we shouldn't do, and it also talks about consequences. So, just to be honest with you, this is not an easy verse to hear, but we need to hear it. Okay. All right. I also put it up there if anybody wants to if anybody wants to use it, you know, I'll put it up here so you can have it for yourself. Judah is definitely lust at first sight. Judah's lust at first sight. Judah's definitely lust at first sight. Brother be like, oh man, that's just the beautiful. Look at that head wrap. Oh. Hey, sister, so I see you got fringes on. And brother said, Judah's definitely lust at first sight. All right. All right, so let me read this real quick, and I pray this be a blessing. All right, and then also for everybody that's still in time frame, make sure you're preparing for Pesach. Make sure you're preparing for Passover, okay? Okay. So let's finish this up real quick. So this is the book of Flavius Josephus, and it reads, but then, what are our laws about marriage? That the law owns no mixture of sexes, but that which nature hath appointed. Yeah, let me see. I think I can do it like this. Oh, I sure can. There we go. So everybody can see it on the screen. So this is what we're reading. Man, why I just try to scratch my eyelash, not smooth, hit my glasses. Okay. But what then are our laws about marriage? That the law owns no other mixture of sexes, but that which nature hath appointed of a man with his wife. And that is to be used only for procreation of children. But it abhors the mixture of male with male. And if anyone do that, death is its punishment. It commands us also when we marry not to have regard to portion, nor to take a woman by violence, nor persuade her deceitfully and connivingly, but to demand her in marriage of him who hath power to dispose of her, and is fit to give her away by the nearness of his kindred. For, saith the scripture, a woman is inferior to the husband in all things. Let her therefore be obedient to him, not so that he should abuse her. See that? But that she may acknowledge her duty to her husband. All right. So, matter of fact, we can read the rest of that. The end of it reads, for God, or Allahia, have given the authority to the husband, and the husband therefore is to lie with only his wife, whom he hath married, but to do with another man's wife is a wicked thing. If anyone ventures to do, the rest of that reads, if anyone ventures to do, here, how about, here, I'm going to do this. I'm going to get the rest of it from on here so you all can see it too. All right, Josephus. Oh, it didn't do the whole thing. Oh, it didn't do the whole thing. Okay. Okay. Okay, there we go. So, if anyone ventures to do, all right, the husband therefore is to lie with his wife only, whom he hath married, but to do with another man's wife is a wicked thing, which if anyone ventures to do, death is inevitably his punishment. No more can he avoid the same, who forces a virgin betrothed to another man, or entices another man's wife. So with that being said, Flavius Josephus tells us how marriage is supposed to go. And, you know, it's a beautiful principle, actually. And if anybody, this is the whole portion of it. All right, Flavius Josephus's discourse on marriage. All right, this whole portion right here, it goes pretty deep. It actually talks about soul ties. And, you know, once you have sex with a person, that tie isn't broken until death. You hear that? Until death. All right. So no free range Willy Wonka and Yashala. All right. Just not right. Okay. Just not right. All right. So let me put this banner up. If anybody would like to contact me, I am a public servant of Mashra Yashala, the government of Israel, the children of Israel, Banya Yashala. All right. My personal phone number is on here, 614-999-2677. To send alms for the ministry, please contact Yahya Allah. His number is 787-598-1535, and his Cash App is JUNNIKKO, last name Berry. He's the minister that's here for Puerto Rico, and that's been taking in this ministry. As y'all know, that's my phone number, 614-999-2677. You can hit me up on WhatsApp. Cash App is Mashpacha Pa'ain. YouTube, Isaiah Yasha Allah. All right. So with that being said, that's going to be it. To the law and to the testimony, Isaiah chapter 8, verse 20. If they speak now in this wise, it is because there is no light in them. All right. Love your neighbor as yourself. All of this is easy. It's easy. All right. Northern Kingdom, Southern Kingdom, unite. One love, one nation, one king. All praise Yahweh. I guess that's it, y'all. All right. The Most High's will. We'll come back with another video soon. All right. I got to get up out of here. Get ready to start getting ready for the holy convocation. All right. Anya Blakam, Yabrakam Yahal, Basham Hamashak Yawashai. Shalom. If you need me, just give me a phone call.